I'm Vinetta Frie. I teach college and set skills here at Baton Rouge Community College. I've been at BRCC for 25 years, and I actually grew up just 3 miles over in that direction on 38th Street. I am part of the Liberal Arts Division, which is also where English, communications, social sciences, and fine arts is also housed, and CSSK is a big part of that because our class helps students to learn better, to understand how their brain works and how to make it work better for them. Well, the inspiration was COVID. I enjoyed teaching in the classroom. I had done that many years here at BRCC and also at LSU. And I was perfectly comfortable being in the classroom working with students in classes, traditional classes. But when COVID changed our lives overnight in March, that weekend in 2020, and we transitioned all the classes that we were teaching that semester from face-to-face into online. The boot camp that the college provided to help us go through a crash course to learn how to translate what we were doing in the live classroom into the online format was a lifesaver. It was a very difficult time for us as faculty and also for the students who were undergoing a tremendous transition in a very sudden way. They were all taking all online classes that they did not sign up for, that they did not anticipate, did not request. And so the inspiration was to keep my job and to help students to navigate the new terrain that we had all been suddenly thrust into. The students that I teach in CSSK tend to be the same kinds of students that I would imagine all BRCC teachers encounter. Many of them are first semester students taking classes at BRCC for their very first semester. Typically, the college navigators might recommend that they consider the class. About 95% of the students who take a CSSK were recommended to take the class by a former student, and we are very proud of that fact. In my Canvas class, I have organized the class on the home page is actually the modules page. Early on, I was using, I think more in the face-to-face classes, I would use the syllabus page that would have a listing of all of the assignments for the semester. In the online environment, I have found that students didn't react well to that. I mean, we have in the 16-week class, typically 30 assignments during the semester. And if students see on the first day in this elective class, they're going to have to do 30 assignments. Some of them fail. So the assignments are not challenging because they are all tied to the skills that students are learning in the class, the 13 basic skills. So I teach a particular skill and they have an activity where they apply that skill. So they're not activities that take up a lot of time, but it is how they demonstrate that they are learning what I am teaching. So what I've done is instead of having a lot of information on their homepage, I turn off all the links in the course navigation menu, the blueprint over to the left. I turn off any link there that I am not going to use during this semester so that they have a quieter page. I saw that students had a really strong positive reaction, most of them did, when I reduced the number of modules on that homepage. There is an old saying that people don't care how much you know unless they also know how much you care. My experiences both in the classroom as a student and in the classroom as a teacher and working with students as a counselor who's sharing, very personal things to them, I think have all helped me to listen and to try to focus on what do students need from me? And how can I convey that best in the digital environment? At the beginning, when I started teaching CSSK, almost every semester I would tear my class apart at the end of the semester based on the comments and evaluations I received from my students. If they said something in their evaluations that they wish I had done or something that worked really well for them, I looked at my syllabus and made changes every semester. I have to keep the class fresh for me because I don't want to get bored. If I get bored, the students are going to read that as well. In CSSK, I tried to model what I want my students to do. I think it's important to be a congruent person, that you can't tell them to do something that you're not doing yourself or willing to do yourself. So I try to teach CSSK on 3 levels, uh, to tell them what they need to know in my class in order to get to the place I've designed the class to take them. I also try to give them links to how they can apply what they're learning in CSSK to the classes that they are taking. Most students who take the class um, raise their grade point average in the same semester they take CSSK. And it's because they are making that transference of what they've learned in CSSK. They are applying it in their other classes as well. But there's also a third level of the class. And I try to help students to realize that in their lives, they're going to have many teachers, many mentors. But there's one teacher that is primary, and it's them. We interpret the world. We determine what information we want to retain. And I try in this class to help students to understand time-tested ways that can be accomplished. And I do all that in a digital learning environment, which allows me tools that I also used in the classroom. But I also try to teach students how to use those tools to help them become better teachers of themselves.